911. What is your emergency?
Can you please send help? I'm looking out the front window. The tall man is scaring us. He's looking at me.
Calm down. Help is on the way. Young lady, are you okay? Hello?
And the horrors didn't just end here. As the Slender Man kidnapped and terrorized many by the plague of its return. What you have seen is just the tip of the iceberg.
Oh God, Judy.
The very origins of the Slender Man were often at first confused with the Men in Black, a topic that was covered in depth in another video, considering the similar black and white look and tendency of appearing only long enough for someone to register that it's there, but not enough to confirm it. A lesser approach that terrorizes the victim rather than charging and terrifying them. They can break people psychologically to be selectively invisible to certain individuals and to make chosen victims disappear through their power to teleport and distort electronic equipment, making it extremely difficult for anyone to document their actual existence. Although the exact details of their origins are unknown, records of their existence are scattered across centuries, long before cameras or the internet, going as far as into the 1500s. From back then, the very fabric of their description of being an extremely tall, faceless figure in dark clothing has remained unchanged and largely connected to the sudden disappearance of children near forests and villages. But now, they have been known to target people of all age groups. Such as a case of a Reddit user at EonB_Del_Ray claimed that while watching Harry Potter movies in a small town in Oregon, a knock at his sliding glass door made him look outside, where he saw a tall, faceless, skeletal figure in a black suit staring from a nearby hill, an encounter he believed was Slender Man. Another Redditor later reported a similar incident in Louisiana, saying that after working the overnight shift at a bakery, he was driving from his cabin when he saw a white shape dart across the road. Slowing down to look for what he assumed was a deer, he instead noticed a tall, unnaturally slim man with a pale, barely detailed face standing in the woods before he drove away as fast as possible and was very sure that he wasn't hallucinating. HBO documentary. Back in November 2016, HBO documentary films covered the story of two young women, Anissa Weier and Morgan Geyser, who were arrested and sentenced for stabbing a classmate after luring her into a wooded area near their neighborhood in Waukesha, Wisconsin, in May 2014. The girls later said they committed the act believing they were under the influence of Slender Man.
Police say the suspects were inspired by a character on a website called Creepypasta, a site filled with scary stories. Now, the story they followed was about a character called Slender Man.
Slender Man, a faceless ghoul many parents have likely never heard of.
If you don't know who Slender Man is, well, we didn't either, but plenty of young kids do.
During police interviews and court proceedings, they both shared that Slender Man was real and that he had chosen them to become his proxies. Some reports note that the girls described feeling as if Slender Man was controlling or guiding them, almost like a hypnotic or supernatural influence. The connection of this real-life incident to Slender Man and its coverage by HBO further shed light on its existence.
If you don't know what Slender Man is, you live under a rock.
Who's that?
Slender Man sighting. A YouTube channel by the name of @GamersRevengeUK shared a video on April 21st, 2016, where a parent returned home from work to discover his daughter, Sally, who was missing.
Sally! It's not fit for a child.
Some unusual drawings found by his co-worker, who was with him at the time, appeared highly suspicious and seemed to be the only clues hinting at where young Sally might have gone.
I know this. Mate! Come here! I found something. I know this place. I know where it is. Look, Sally's drawn it. One day I can live with Slender Man. Look, if we can get there quick, she might be, I don't know. It's our only hope that I know where this place is.
You know exactly where it is?
I'm pretty sure I know where this is, yeah.
After reaching the spot, they decided to split up to cover the ground faster while using radios to communicate. Minutes later, one of them noticed a small girl, Sally, who was being accompanied by a tall, skinny figure walking into a garage opening. The recorder decided to confront it inside, but as soon as he closed in, the figure disappeared, with only Sally inside. As they prepared to leave, a figure resembling Slender Man reappeared, and the footage became garbled.
God! Thank God you're alright. Hold this camera, please. I'll get us out of here. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Since then, both Sally and the recorder have vanished without a trace. Recorded encounter. Like the paranormal investigators, a YouTuber with a channel at Infinite decided to explore an undisclosed location to investigate reports of a Slender Man sighting, just as he was looking at all the graffiti that covered the wall next to a cave-like passageway, only to notice this.
A lot of graffiti everywhere. This is so creepy, dude. Wait. No.
The very entity that appeared momentarily met the description of a Slender Man, which initially terrified him, but he was more curious to investigate. After reaching the other side, as we looked around, the Slender Man once again appeared right in front of him, stopping him in his path.
Okay. Wait. No.
This clip is from January 2012, where two young kids were enjoying their newly acquired trampoline in the backyard of their remote residence until things took a very terrifying turn. The one recording noticed an entity that slowly but noticeably made a dramatic appearance from a narrow path between a tool shed and a barn. Apart from being quite tall, it had a head that was completely blank, white, and devoid of any human facial features. The footage got cut off seconds later as both the kids started panicking and attempted to flee. The whereabouts of both these young boys has been a mystery till now. Fast forward to 2014, two young men decided to explore that very place out of curiosity. Despite the warnings of staying clear of that area, which was also sealed, they decided to go ahead anyway.
You get the camera on me. Yeah, right, what we're about to do is illegal. Alright, let's go. Right, once we do this, there's no going back, right? You ready?
Yep.
Let's go.
They rushed toward the spot where Slender Man had appeared, but while searching the area, their camera's audio began to distort into a sharp ringing noise. Moments later, one of them suddenly collapsed to the ground, as if he was struck down, sending the other fleeing in panic. At the time of the sunset, he mustered up the courage to return to look for his friend, only to find him gone, his clothes and belongings left behind. When he later reviewed the footage, he noticed Slender Man standing in the background just seconds before everything fell apart. Hiking interrupted. On May 5th, 2017, a small group of young men decided to go for a hiking trip in a countryside grassland area near the woods. As they moved through the tree line, they came across a map smeared with large, dried stains, which immediately unnerved them.
I'm not sure.
What's that?
What is it? Who put a map on a tree? What's on it?
Right. Let's get a look at this.
What is it?
Hopefully this kid's screwing around. What the fuck? I think we should head back.
Yeah.
I think we should head back right now.
However, they decided to keep moving further ahead of their trail, where nearly an hour later, a camera captured an abandoned torn camping tent. At this point, their camera audio started to malfunction. Despite the feeling of concern, they kept on moving, until suddenly, as they came out from the tree line, noticed a tall figure that was standing not too far away from them, when all hell started breaking loose.
It can't be. No! No! You should be here!
James, we need to get out of here! Quick! Quick, James, we need to get out of here! No time to pissing about, come on! Come on!
As he began feeling weak, with his nose starting to drip in red while running toward the Slender Man, his companion intervened and led him to safety, where the camera feed was eventually lost. Slender Man drone view. Instead of going by themselves, these two young adults decided to fly over a drone in Lake Forest, California, while looking for the Slender Man. To their surprise, they got what they wished for much sooner than ever.
Oh my god! What the? What the? It's back! Bro, where'd he go? He's gone! Bro, I'm not flying this, bro. I don't want to fly this, bro. Fam, I don't want to fly this. Dude, he was just there, guys. We just saw Slender Man.
The Slender made a very clear and bold appearance for a few seconds before the drone feed started to malfunction. For a couple of seconds before everything returned to normal, but it had disappeared. Instead of taking the second chance of the benefit of not losing their drone, they decided to keep on looking for it. A couple of minutes later, they spotted it once again, only this time it gradually came closer to the drone, while its feed was garbled and took it down, sending them both fleeing in panic.
It's him in the distance. Look, he's looking right at us.
Should I fly over to him?
Just stay put, otherwise it might start glitching. The closer you get to him, the more it starts glitching. You know what I'm saying? See, look, it's glitching now. No, look, he's closer now. He's closer.
Oh my
Dude, he's
God,
getting
bro.
closer. It's glitching. Dude, it's good. Oh my God. No, he's right there. We just lost the drone.
Bro, he's coming after us, fam. He's coming after us. We need
Okay,
to go.
take the camera.
I'm out of here, bro.
Indoor intrusion. A young man was videotaping himself next to a bathroom mirror when suddenly the lights started flickering.
Go on.
At the same time, he started to feel nauseated along with a noticeable disruption of his camera equipment, all at the same moments, after which he noticed a figure in the mirror that exactly met the description of a Slender Man. The feeling of being incapacitated, both himself and his equipment, was so unbearable apart from the sudden terrorizing encounter that he quickly left his house and attempted to flee to safety in his car, which didn't start up for obvious reasons. Playground appearance. This footage is from January 2006, showing a moment when a father was spending time with two of his kids in the backyard playground when something terrible happened. Standing at the corner of the house, a tall, unnaturally thin figure can be seen watching the man and his children. The moment it is noticed, the camera begins to distort, and the footage abruptly cuts out. The nature of this staring figure clearly looks like this was another Slender Man sighting, especially how the clip ended. The family's fate has since remained a mystery. Road blocked. A man was driving alone along a deserted road in the countryside of Manchester when he suddenly spotted a tall, thin figure standing on the road blocking it. The sight of it forced him off-road before his vehicle's engine system started to get distorted before turning off. It unsettled him as he glanced into his side view mirror, only to spot the figure moving toward his car. Within seconds, it began running in his direction. The video cuts off there, leaving whatever happened unseen. Deserted sighting. High school students in downtown Mexico City were exploring a long abandoned building when they soon realized they had taken the wrong turn.
¡Hostia! ¡Hostia! Nunca había visto todo esto. No. Vamos.
Just a few meters behind them stood a figure resembling Slender Man, staring silently in their direction and sending them into an immediate panic. They sprinted down several flights of stairs and finally reached the ground floor breathless, only for the figure to appear again near the staircase in an instant, as if it had made its way down without much effort.
Baja de ahí, tío, deja de hacer tonto.
Passing coincidence. A video posted in 2017 where the source was shocked to have discovered a possible Slender Man sighting that he captured by accident. The young biker was filming himself testing his bike, unaware of a tall, faceless figure standing in a nearby field. The situation grew more unsettling when a passing car stopped to warn him about the strange figure. Confused, he looked around, but saw nothing at the time. It wasn't until he later reviewed the footage that he noticed the eerie figure in the background. Home invasion. An unnamed source was looking around his house with a flashlight after a sudden power outage, where he made an encounter with the Slender Man. He was just outside his house, looking around in the bushes, when he noticed it.
Run.
As he rushed back into his house and locked the door, minutes later, he noticed either the same slender figure that made its way inside the house, or this was another one of them.
Ah!
Abduction in progress. On the eve of June 12th, 2020, a CCTV camera of a residence in Wisconsin caught a terrifying moment of what looks something like an abduction. It starts with a little girl who was playing in her yard, where moments later, she starts to run away in panic before falling unconscious. Immediately after the Slender Man approaches, its tendrils can be seen coming out either to capture or make some kind of psychological influence over the girl as the footage gets cut off. Faceless lurker. Drawn in by rumors, two friends decided to explore an abandoned house on the edge of town, said to be home to something unnatural. While videotaping it all, they caught sight of a tall, unnaturally thin figure slipping behind a doorway. Its skin appeared pale and smooth, and where a face should have been, there was only a blank surface, motionless and unblinking. Panic set in instantly, and they bolted from the house without looking back. Later, when they uploaded the footage, viewers pointed out the same faceless figure in the shadows, convinced it matched the description of Slender Man. Bizarre figure chase. Imagine going out for a hunt all alone, where despite having lethal force, you run into something that you can only avoid by running away. a lone hunter who went out for a hunting trip in an undisclosed location, only to have his path crossed with this. Judging by the nature of its sound, along with the physical appearance, it clearly looks very real and not some prank or a long-forgotten uncontacted tribesman. Regrettably, the chase ended with the hunter being jumped by this mysterious, spooky being, with his fate remaining a mystery. Slender Man Street.
Guys. See, you get it.
Around 1:05 a.m., 3 teenagers were on a pranking spree through the quiet residential streets of Cincinnati, who soon after ran into trouble. As they were planning the next house to continue their stunt, they noticed a tall yet skinny, human-like black and white figure standing and watching them from a distance. Initially, they managed to sprint away to a safe distance, but as they stopped to catch their breath behind the cover of the bushes, where the Slender Men ambushed them by abducting one of them before taking down the record.
I can't believe we made it up. I'm gonna check if he's safe. Oh God, dude.
The third teenager, however, managed to escape at the expense of his friends. Mysterious climber. While out for a smoke, a tenant of an apartment building in Moscow, Russia, was just returning when something very weird happened. Right in front of him appeared a huge yet narrow and extremely elongated being that, in a sneaking manner, was climbing its way up and across the building. As he wasn't able to make sense of what this was, upload the footage on social media, where, due to its closest resemblance to that of a Slender Man, this sighting was believed to be of one of them. Dark dancing figure. On March 3rd, 2023, TikTok user at Nika.Ilez shared a video claiming she had encountered the tallest woman she had ever seen. According to her, she was heading home after spending time with friends when she noticed an unusually tall, extremely thin figure dressed entirely in black, standing in her path. After they passed each other, the figure reportedly began moving in a strange, almost dance-like manner, stepping back and forth in the street. Feeling uneasy, she attempted to speak to it, but the figure suddenly started moving toward her, as if in pursuit.
Hey, Allah.
The clip's unsettling tone and the figure's unnatural presence led many viewers to speculate about what, or who, she may have actually captured on camera. Dark masked entity. A group of friends traveling through the woods in Ohio spotted a dark masked figure lurking behind a tree, freezing them in fear on November 5th, 2023.
Someone's out there.
What?
I'm not tripping. I'm not joking, nice.
Yeah, close the door.
Moments later, the figure vanished only to reappear on a rear-facing camera, standing beside a friend's vehicle that had been left unlocked.
You caught it on
Yeah, I
camera?
saw it.
No way.
Yo, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yo, he's hiding in. Is it gone? Oh my God.
By the time they rushed outside, the figure had already driven off in the car. The vehicle's owner, known for his theories and claims of having evidence of multiple sightings, suggested that his unusual activities might have drawn the attention of this mysterious, slender man in black. Crop field sighting. During a day off of a week, a farmer from Norfolk, United Kingdom, was just about to start video gaming until the sight of this unfolded. Not too far off in the crop field, he noticed a tall, human-shaped being that was dressed in black and white, and it didn't take longer than a second for him to identify that this was an actual Slender Man. Instead of panicking or hiding his head under a pillow, he immediately rushed downstairs to the fields to investigate from much closer, but by then, it had already vanished into thin air. Spotted on drive. A driver traveling along a quiet country road near the farmlands noticed a strange figure standing beside a barn. Curious and unsure if it actually was the Slender Man itself, he made a U-turn to pass by again and capture it on camera. The driver kept enough speed and distance from the Slender Man to stay safe, yet remained close enough to get a clear look at it and confirm his suspicion.
See.
He even seemed to catch its attention before leaving the area just in time to avoid any ill effects of it. Canopy lurker. Being in the midst of a mountain biking trail in the woods of Craig Creek Cluster, Virginia, the source unknowingly made a very close pass by to a Slender Man. He was moving at quite a pace with a recording camera that was placed on his chest, catching the moment where a slender figure that was either very tall or was on top of a tree was monitoring him. He didn't see it at that very moment until the footage was shared online. It was much later that he first took notice of it. Reported occurrence. A young girl who was taught well by her guardians to avoid strange people dialed 911 and lodged the complaint that a Slender Man was bothering her.
What is your emergency?
Someone followed me and my brother home from school.
Have you seen this person before?
No. Can you please send help?
Where are you now?
In the living room. I'm looking out the front window. The tall man is scaring us.
Where is this guy?
In front of the house.
What is he doing?
He's standing behind a tree. He's very tall. Help us. I'm scared.
The so-called Slender Man didn't just stand by and stare, but rather interfered in a much different way than the usual, by taking over the call.
What was that?
I don't know. The lights went out. I'm scared.
Help is on the way.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
What's happening?
He's looking at me.
How the girl described it further confirmed that this was indeed a Slender Man sighting.
He has no face. His face is gone.
Calm down. Does he have a mask on?
No. He's coming.
Calm down. Help is on the way. As long as he's outside and you're inside, you'll be fine. Describe him to me.
He has a suit on and a tie. He's very tall. He has long arms. He's bald. I'm scared.
The call ended abruptly as a sudden sound of glass shattering could be heard, and the demeanor of the girl changed completely, almost as if he was possessed or under some mind-controlled influence.
He's in front of the window, facing me.
Young lady, are you okay? Hello?
I'm fine now. I'm not scared anymore. The tall man just wants to play.
Stay with me now. They're safe.
Shady silhouette. A streamer named Juanito Juan was broadcasting late at night, discussing mysterious figures such as Men in Black, Slender Man, and Una Bruja, among many others, when all of a sudden he started to hear unusual noise inside his home. Pausing the stream to investigate, he walked toward his living room and noticed a dark, grayish-black figure of unknown nature that was standing motionless in the shadows. He quickly began recording with his phone, capturing several tense moments where neither he nor the figure seemed to move. As he zoomed in, the shape appeared almost human, distorted, as if someone were hidden beneath some kind of cloaking or visual distortion. Late-night entity. Around 4 a.m., the person behind this footage woke unexpectedly and noticed a strange figure standing in the middle of the road outside. It remained completely still, at first giving the impression of something paranormal, until the streetlight revealed a visible shadow beneath it. Yet when the witness looked away, and then back again, the figure had vanished without a trace. Although it wasn't clearly dressed in black, its unusually dark appearance under the light and its sudden disappearance left the unsettling feeling that it may have been something far from ordinary. Skinny, elongated creature. Although it may have been the first tall, skinny figure of its kind, it looked strikingly similar, yet at the same time, strangely different from the typical image of Slender Man. A man was heading out for his night shift when he noticed this unknown thing that was standing right outside the front door of his neighbor's house. With the porch being dark and it remaining completely still, make it harder to recognize or make sense of the situation as to what was exactly going on here. Ridgeline Giant. In early 2022, Andrew Dawson was on his way to work near Campbell River, Canada, when he recorded a mysterious figure standing atop a distant mountain. Though it appeared human in shape, its size seemed far too large to be an ordinary person. After sharing the footage, Dawson speculated about what it could be, ranging from the possibility of a giant or Bigfoot to even an alien presence surveying the area. Others proposed a different theory altogether, suggesting the figure might have been linked to secretive government activity, perhaps resembling the elusive Slender Man, often associated with conspiracy lore. Unknown crawlers. What began as a lighthearted late-night hike quickly turned unsettling for a group of friends wandering through the woods. Between laughs and casual conversation, they suddenly noticed a pair of glowing eyes staring at them from the darkness. Assuming it was deer, they paid little attention until pale, thin-limbed figures slowly emerged into view. Their movements were unnatural, almost crawling rather than walking. Two appeared to be assisting a third that lay motionless on the ground. And moments later, a fourth shape slipped out from the shadows. The figures never approached, yet their silent presence was deeply disturbing. Hide and seek. Graveyards are eerie by nature, but this one held an extra sense of unease. A researcher, intrigued by tales of wandering spirits, visited one night to investigate. As he panned across the graves, something faintly caught his eye, visible only when the footage was slowed down. A pale, motionless figure crouched behind a grave slab. Moments later, as if aware it had been spotted, it slipped behind the stone and disappeared. Was it a ghost or something else quietly tied to the place? Whatever it was, it clearly didn't want to be seen. Emerged from tree. At first, it seemed like an old doll nestled in a hollow of the tree, but that illusion vanished in an instant. As the explorer leaned closer, the figure blinked and retreated quickly into the darkness. It was no toy. The YouTuber didn't hesitate. He bolted, leaving behind only shaky footage and a lingering sense of dread. Whatever lurks inside that tree, it clearly doesn't welcome visitors. Captured Slender Man. Forest officers were patrolling the snowy woods when their dog suddenly led them to a strange and unsettling sight. In the snow lay a tall, unnaturally thin figure, its pale skin stretched taut over a skeletal frame. Where its eyes should have been, there was only smooth, featureless flesh. It appeared weak, almost lifeless, yet undeniably not human. Rumors quickly spread that this could be an encounter with Slender Man somehow captured or cornered, but the details remained sketchy at best, leaving more questions than answers about what was really found here. The video has definitely reached its end. I will see you again with another wow video. Until then, you can check these other videos out for a wow dose of entertainment and knowledge.